We knew that when we were going to build the 800, we were going to incorporate some of the same components. So we incorporate the same. The mid-range is effectively the same. The head is the same, but the relative position of these components to the other components and the size of the other components, for instance, the larger bass unit, the distance between the voice coils is all different. So your tuning is naturally going to be different.
We were able to squeeze and put even more technologies and improvements in the parts and components which are making the 800 the outstanding product it is.
So we want the drive unit to reproduce the bass note without adding anything at all to that signal. So reproducing exactly the harmonic content of the original music. So in order to do that, you have to be very linear. So turn the electrical signal coming from the amplifier into an acoustic pressure signal identical in shape.
The balance between the size and the sensitivities of all the units are finely tuned to get a performance which is the best you can extract from those drive units.
We had the aerofoil on the 8-inch on the 802, but now we've got the aerofoil technology on the 10-inch, and having two 10-inch is a good place to be if you want to get a good extension.
This new drive unit, even though it's the same diameter as the previous generation, has been completely redesigned. So it's new cone, new suspension, new mode system, new coil.
We have improved the breakup frequency for the use of the aerofoil cone. We have improved the distortion by both using the aerofoil cone and linearizing the motor and the suspensions. Since we have much larger voice coil in the 10-inch unit, using the hybrid approach of the smaller units where we have both a damping foam and a carbon skin on top was not the best option because of the additional mass such a huge quantity of foam would have put on top of the cone. And instead of going for a hybrid approach, we were, let's say, faithful to the sandwich philosophy, and we developed on purpose a sandwich dust cap, which is basically replicating the aerofoil structure, being a carbon skin, syntactic foam, carbon skin sandwich structure.
So you might think that it's particularly unusual for low frequency drive unit to have an impact on the mid-range sound. But you have to remember that bass units, when they produce distortion, will produce distortion at frequency higher than the band they're supposed to reproduce, basically the mid-range. So by getting rid of all the distortion coming from that unit, you effectively make the mid-range sound a lot cleaner, a lot more neutral.
You know, the motors are different, the chassis are different, the cones are different. All of these little components are all different from the previous, but when they've all added together, they're all their little differences. It's almost like it's an unreal change.